Overwatch is a hero shooter that is kind of like what would happen if Dota and Call of Duty had a bright Pixar-faced child. I love it very much, but I don't really have anything new or groundbreaking to tell you about the game itself. It is largely the same as it was at launch. Jeff Kaplan and the Overwatch team have added heroes and maps, made balance changes, and continue to breathe life into this conceptually simple shooter. Like I said, I love it very much. It is when my brain needs to turn off the game I turn to the most frequently. So why is it on my list then? It's because of this.
He will drop though, and this could be dangerous now. We're here at Tactical Visor. That's Agility's coming forward. This one matter hack on towards Fate. There is a heal for Custer though. He's pocketing the Winston. Transcendence now thrown into the mix of self-destruct into the back. Agility's has to run, but he's low. Transcendence there for the Gladiators is keeping them up and alive. Agility's finally falls now. Bunny off toward the left-hand side, and Custer and Space sticking together on the payload. Shawfall gets an aerial hack. Bishu desuited, taken down over the point. And Custer is hacked, but he can still heal. He can still fly around. The Mercy's so important right now for the Valiant, and they're going to break through. Fish is down. Ash has been removed for the fight. And Los Angeles get there. Wings out. What an intense fight. That kind of skill is what you don't see every day.
2018 featured the first full season of the Overwatch League, a competitive esports league run by Blizzard. I never really glommed onto esports before OWL. The organization of teams was always kind of confusing to me, and I was never really invested in a single game enough to lean all the way into a specific scene. I watch the International every year, and I'll watch the Halo Championship Series every once in a while, but there was something about the Overwatch League that really hooked me. It's bumbling, it's new, it's kind of plastic, and it has a bunch of problems. It's like the only other sports thing I truly love. Major League Soccer. I'm an LA Valiant supporter. We won the Pacific Division and then lost in the semifinals to the eventual champions, the London Spitfire. I went to a watch party for that playoff match, and that sentence is like the wildest damn thing. Between that watch party and then the 2 match days that I went to during the season, the potential for esports actually finally clicked for me. Hundreds of people all in one room hooting and hollering and chatting about a video game being played at the highest level. Blizzard put millions and millions of dollars into making sure OWL worked, and Season 1 was a hell of a proof of concept. I watched nearly every broadcast, at home or at work, and if I missed a key matchup, I'd watch it after the fact. It changed the way I thought about my own play and forced me to actively keep up with meta changes, ingraining myself into conversations about team comps and hero nerfs and buffs in a way that I never thought I would do. I fell into this league hard, but as lyrical genius Adam Levine once said, it's not always rainbows and butterflies. Hey. Minority friends, come here. We gotta have a chat. We just gotta talk really quick. Okay, you know that thing where you go into a space where you, definitely you know you should be there because you know your shit and you know that you like the thing, and then you know that you have all the characteristics required to be a person who's invested in that thing. But then your brain is still like, no, dumbass, this isn't for you. It turns out that a video game sports league is the perfect storm for making that voice real fucking loud. Who would have thought? I wrote my thesis on gatekeeping in video games. One of the sections focused specifically on the Overwatch League and shaky gender politics. I wrote a piece for Verve late last year about racial gatekeeping in OWL. Exclusionary politics in video games have been attached at the hip since day one, and regardless of how diverse the game at the center of a fandom may be, it is impossible to get away from those politics without overt action from the people who make it. I care a lot about online communities and the way that they interact with each other. So many of the AFK storylines from this season, XQC, Guguri's absence from the beginning of the season, teams using racist memes, hosts being vilified in chat and on Twitter, all of it was unbelievably frustrating, but not particularly surprising to see. It's a loop. As I wrote in that Verve piece, new fans should not feel obligated to prove themselves in order to join a community. That community should be doing everything in its power to prove itself worthy of being joined. By continuing to focus on strengthening and perpetuating the antiquated idea of gaming's core audience, industry heavyweights do a disservice to the medium and the people who actually love it. The key to building a vibrant and healthy community is providing a space where the people in it feel valued. Rallying around the diversity in age, race, gender, and sexuality that already exists within that community can only empower it. Blizzard just needs to look at their own lore and the fan communities that have sprung up around it to see that. Or, to put it a little bit more simply, everybody plays games. If you find yourself in a situation where you are part of the quote in crowd, a person who has the opportunity to be a gatekeeper, don't. It's so easy to not be sexist, racist, or homophobic. Embrace similarities instead of preying on differences. Owl will keep me invested in this damn shooter for way, way longer than I ever expected. It will keep pushing me to think about why online communities act the way they do, and I did not expect that at all at the beginning of the year. That's why it's on my list. We esports now.